It is us again, your favorite wrestling reviewers, the Squeeze and the Cheese, with another edition of Squeeze and Cheese's WWE Talk Live. I'm the Squeeze, he's the Cheese, and we're going to talk about what happened in the week of wrestling in WWE. And we saw most of the shows. We really don't watch NXT. I didn't see any NXT yesterday. NXT is live today, this week's edition. So I don't watch that one. But I've SmackDown last week didn't have too much to go talk about. But basically, I guess there was the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament, and Jade Cargill lost to Bianca by. I mean, Jade Cargill lost to Nia Jax by disqualification, and Bianca Belair beat somebody for her spot. But what did you think about Jade Cargill losing to Nia Jax, bro? I think that was bad booking, and like I said, like I told you before we started the show, I have a lot to talk about right now because I am just I'm just flabbergasted at the booking right now. The booking is all over the place, man, and I don't get it. They don't push the right people in the right spots. Some of it is lazy booking. Some of it is lazy writing. What is going on, man? I mean, not everything seems to be clicking. I mean, this Triple H regime is pretty good, but after WrestleMania, things just seem to go to shit. What do you
Yeah,
think, bro?
well, yeah, I think they might be panicking a little bit because a lot of the stars are out, like Roman's gone, and uh, so they're putting Solo Sikoa in that ridiculous black and red suit and parading him around there. The other two members of the bloodline, they look like when they dress them up in suits, they look good. They look menacing. When Solo Sikoa does, and I know Solo Sikoa is a much tougher man than I am, and if we ever met face to face, I would, smile and tell him what a great job he did. And I know he could beat me up. But when he wears a suit, he just looks like a tubby, like a tubby dude in a suit. Like it's if they're trying to go for uh like an intimidating thing, like it just for me at least, when I look at him in a suit, it's goofy. And
The thing about Solo to me is when he's in that suit, he looks so young to be in a suit like that. And I mean, he's not a very good looking guy. He looks so young. He just doesn't cut a presence in a suit in the ring. He just has no presence. He's just another guy. And I mean, you got Tongaloa. He cuts the presence. Tama Tonga. He cuts the presence. But just Solo Sikoa has no presence. He's just I don't know what they see in him, but maybe it'll work according to Vince's formula because Triple H always follows Vince's formula even though Vince is out. But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't see it.
I think if they're booking it for Roman to come back with the Usos, it's like the original Bloodline versus the new guys. I think that'd be entertaining. 'Cause it'd be fun to see Solo get beat up. But yeah, like the suits, just the suits alone. When WWE superstars come out in suits, they're almost always fitted really well. Like the shoulder, they fit in the shoulders, like they fit everywhere. They look, but it looks like Solo Sikoa just like went to like he went to like the Men's Warehouse and he just like, oh, I'll take that one. And it's like, bro, like it doesn't, like the fit's not good. It's just like, bro, like you're like you're supposed to be you're supposed to be head of the bloodline right now. Like you gotta do, like if that's the what you're gonna go for, in wear a suit, then I can at least get a good one. At least get it fit, get it tailored.
Well, like I said, he cuts no presents. Like I don't know if you saw Ilya Dragunov and Ricochet today in their yesterday in the backstage segment, but they had a backstage segment where they were talking crap to each other. And Ilya Dragunov, he looks good in a suit. I don't know who dresses him, but he looked really well dressed. Ricochet looked really well dressed. But so does Sikoa, like you said, he looks like a bum just all the way, like suit or no suit. So I don't know, man. I mean, and I know it's not bias on your part because I mean I think everybody sees it. So I mean, yeah, yeah, I get it. Um,
Oh, but
anyway, I
Jade Cargill, I'm sorry, I got off track. Yeah, no, I think they should have had Jade because I want Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair to fight. Like I don't want them to be a tag team, because they're very similar. as far as their look, as far as like how strong they're supposed to be, how tough they're supposed to be. And I think that they're coexisting together is kind of wonky. I was hoping that they would, meet in the King of the Ring, like the semifinal, and then have, a good scientific, fair match until, and each one of them hits the other one with their finisher, but they just can't keep the other one down. They just can't keep them down. So then one of them, whether it be Bianca, I was hoping for Bianca or Jade Cargill, to cheat, to grab a chair and bam, during the match, what's his nuts, the husband, comes down, to the ringside to distract the referee, so Bianca can, whack Jade Cargill in the head with a chair, for the victory, and have to, and then make them defend the titles one more time, since they're a tag team, make them defend the titles.
No, 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 they can't do that right now. It's too soon. Jade
So
Cargill's still working in the ring, and I mean, her match with Nia Jax is really good, according to her, the way she can wrestle. Because what happened with Jade Cargill is she's still green, and she's learning more and more every day. Like this match with Nia Jax is probably her best match to date, and Bianca Belair is a seasoned veteran, so they can't really put Jade Cargill up against for Bianca Belair just yet. So, according to King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring, I think it's going to be Bianca Belair who goes through and becomes Queen of the Ring. But yeah, Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair are going to meet up sooner rather than later. They might drop the titles to another team, but I think Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair is going to be on like towards the end of the year or by WrestleMania, because that's a marquee match right for WrestleMania. But I just think Jade Cargill's too green and too soon, too new to the Fed for that. I don't think she's ready for that. Um, yeah, getting on to Raw. Let's go back to Raw for a second.
yeah.
Um, what do you think about Jey Uso and his Yeet chant? Because there's a lot of talk from a lot of other wrestling podcasters this week that they thought they were going to put him over because he seems to be over as all hell with that Yeet chant, and everybody's doing his hand thing and all
Didn't
this
the
stuff. So
profit
I mean, they were thinking that they're going to make some really good money off of him, and so they're like, oh no, they're going to put him over Gunther because they can make merchandise sales off of him. But um, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I think. What do you think about that? Do you think he's going to be pushed like main event, maybe world title? Because I mean, that's just
I
way too much. I mean,
like I hope not. Um, but I kind of said the same thing with Becky Lynch. But remember, I thought she was going to win. I thought she was going to beat Rhea straight up at WrestleMania because
yeah,
WWE just sees dollar signs.
yeah,
And as soon as they didn't put her over then, but as soon as they had the opportunity with the Battle Royal, they put her over, which was ridiculous.
yeah.
And with Jey Uso, like that's stupid. Didn't the Street Profits, when they were in NXT, didn't they have something similar to that arm movement from the fans?
I
Um,
don't know. I don't remember. I didn't watch the Street Profits too much in NXT.
um,
I
but
really
yeah,
didn't watch NXT. I used to watch the Black and Gold edition. I haven't watched it that much ever since all the big stars moved on. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just think that this Yeet thing is. I don't know how long it's gonna last. That's what the podcasters said, and I agreed with them.
yeah,
How long is
yeah,
this thing gonna last? So
yeah. Yeah, I don't think he's. It's like when I think, like, if you're gonna put a title on him, like you should do it like soon. Uh, I don't think they should put a title on him. First and foremost, I don't think he's that good. But if they're going to, they should do it like soon and quickly, for a short time to capitalize on, kind of like the riding the wave. You want, like a surfer, you want to get the wave when it's at the top. That's kind of what you want to do. It's like when, remember when Sami Zayn fought Roman Reigns in Canada, and Zayn was so over, like, uh, I'm I enjoy how the story finished with Cody Rhodes, but I still think in that moment that they should have put Sami Zayn over Roman Reigns, for just a huge like pop, a moment in time.
uh,
And that's kind of like, and if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna put Jey Uso, a title on Jey Uso, like they gotta catch the momentum right now. Because if the momentum's now, if they're, he's not the kind of performer that can keep this momentum for months and months and months, a year, 2 years. he's going to be able to keep it for 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. So you got to do it now, or else it's going to be flat.
But see, that's why we're not businessmen and we don't work for the WWE, because you see it that way, and I don't know. Maybe I see it differently because let's use a sexual analogy. Let's say, but not pornographic. It's like it's like being in love and having like not even being in love. It's like going to one night stand with a chick as opposed to going in a relationship with a chick. Now one night stand is like you just get that cheap you just get that cheap thing, the cheap thrill. But then a long term relationship is like you get that all the time. So I mean that's why the WWE works. They're not going for cheap pops or cheap one night things. I mean, they don't do cheap thrills. They do long term booking, and
Yeah,
that's what the thing is. And I mean,
yeah,
short term, I mean, some fans might be happy with some things, but long term, they got to think about the bottom line. And the business world is divided into quarters. And it's always spring, summer, fall, and winter. Spring is WrestleMania. That's the end of their booking cycle. But I mean, throughout the year, they have to think about the
yeah.
bottom line and who's the star that's getting they're going to push to get over, because they got guys who are looking at this like 24/7. They got scouts, they got producers, they got trainers, they got business people who are looking at the bottom line. They got actuaries, they got accountants. Dude, it's not just the fans who are behind this thing. It's a business, and that's the thing that's always set apart the WWE from the other organizations. They've been run like a business, whereas the other organizations were run by promoters who thought they were businessmen. But Vince McMahon, I guess he went to college and he was a businessman before a promoter, and so that's why he made the most money, man. So I mean, we got to stop thinking of it like we're just fans.
Yeah, no, I mean, I always got to think of it as a fan because that's what I'm hoping for, and much like in the sexual world and wrestling, there's always there's a place for one night stands. They keep everything, they keep things fresh and exciting.
Yeah,
It's like, and I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is, this is just kind of I'm Hispanic. And from what I've heard, like there's a stereotype about, men from Mexico that
yeah.
you have your wife and then you have your girlfriend. The wife is the one that you make your home with, have your kids with.
No, 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 you're wrong, bro. You have your wife and you have your girlfriends, not just one girlfriend. You have like two or three, bro.
And
Maybe 4 or 5, no matter how you got.
and
Remember,
your
you're Hispanic, I'm Hispanic too, but I'm from a different country. I'm from Nicaragua. In Nicaragua, man, we got a wife and we got like 3 on the side, man. So I mean,
but you
it's
have
always over there.
and that's kind of how they should book WWE. Like have the one or two long term, that that you're gonna have day in day out. You still there, bro? Oh, I lost you. Oh, technical difficulties. All right, fans, for anybody still watching, so that's how WWE should book. One being long term, uh, like the wife, that you're with, that you're going to be with, which makes you happy. That's the one you're going to settle down with and be responsible with, and do the right things, raise kids with, buy a house with. But then they should also have, and those should be like the long terms. Uh, but then there should also be, I see your closet. But then there should
Yeah,
also
can you
be,
hear me now, bro?
yeah, bro, I can hear you now.
Sorry about that. My girlfriend was calling me.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
she was at the doctor's, but she was calling me.
All right, on. Is she in for the prenatal visits or
Oh, no, no, no. She's too old for that, man. She's about your age.
about my age? Thank you, bro.
Just kidding. We're not spring chickens anymore, man.
All right. So again, bro,
Yeah,
they should be booking like they should have like a wife for booking,
yeah,
long term storylines, that are going to pay off down the road. They're going to be, big money maker. They're going to be steady, steady, steady. But then, dude, they also got to have, like the short term ones, like the short terms, the ones, the broad you're going to go to Vegas with for 3 days and be coked out of your mind and drink and take to the strip clubs, like they have to have like those, you know, like unpredictable, just crazy, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe they booked this. They need to
but
sprinkle that in as well with the long term plans that make sense. At least that's
oh,
what I.
you're right about that, and I totally agree. But it has to be like a really hot thing going, It's got to
Yeah,
be like red fucking hot. I mean, it can't just be like, oh, we're just gonna get a cheap throw off of this guy for like a week. It's got to be like a month or two,
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that. So I mean, like
yeah, yeah,
Sami Zayn, you put him over in his hometown, and okay, he's a world champion. Then he goes to the next town and he's over. But then, how long does it have legs? Doesn't have legs to be the man Roman Reigns for months and months,
yeah, But I think that the pop they would have got for like a month, for like 4 weeks, I think that would have been like enough of a payoff, at least for me as a fan. Like I think that would have been enough of a
But
payoff.
that's why they're giving him an intercontinental title run because the guy,
That
he,
doesn't feel the
they
same.
know he's popular enough for the intercontinental title, so they're giving him a run with that. But the thing is, he's even showing that he doesn't have legs for that because you got
Yeah,
Shorty G. Shorty G is getting over huge. Did you hear the crowd on Raw?
I
They
didn't.
start shouting the "You Suck" chant. The you suck chant was loud for Shorty G, and the way he's treating Alpha Academy, he's getting boos everywhere. They made a star, dude. I
Yeah,
mean, he's
yeah,
over. They finally got Shorty G over. It took 10 years, but they got him over. And I mean, dude, it's crazy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
With
They
Sami
do
Zayn,
make their stars.
like he's a mid card wrestler. And when they put him with the bloodline and his feud with Roman Reigns, like just that arc, was like the one time, like in his entire career that I would have cheered for him as a world champion.
But
That
like
I
you
would have
said,
like,
he's a mid card wrestler. He's
yeah,
always going to be a mid card
and
wrestler. No
but
matter
they're
what he does, he's a mid card wrestler. He's
well, sometimes
squarely in the mid card.
you can catch lightning in a bottle,
Yeah,
like the honky tonk man. Like when
yeah,
his run as the Intercontinental Championship heel. Hey, Honky was horrible. He wasn't good in
yeah.
the ring. He was horrible.
No, he was horrible. Yeah.
They caught lightning in a bottle, and for that run he had, it was just like amazing. Same thing like with Sammy. Like that would have been the only time in his entire career that I think the crowd would have been really like accepting of him. Hey, all right, he's champion. But then the
Well,
expectations then would
it's
drop.
like Mark Henry. Mark Henry was horrible in one of the worst wrestlers ever. But it took him 10 years to get over. But he finally was over as the world champion.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
mean, it's like, yeah. So sometimes, man. I mean, no, it depends on how they book a certain wrestler. If it's the right time, right place. I mean, so I don't know, man. Anyway, yeah, it's amazing this booking. Oh, I want to talk about the titles. So, the titles now, man, I really don't like them. I mean, you got three secondary singles male titles under the Universal title, and the weakest champion is the World Champion, Damian Priest. But I mean, why do they have so many titles? They should get rid of that World Championship and just have the champion defend on both brands. They should do the same thing for the women. I mean, it's like crazy. Why do they have so many titles? I don't like that about the wrestling industry. Ever since 2003, when or was it 2002? I think it was 2003 when Triple H wanted his own belt on Raw, when Brock took the Raw title to SmackDown, it's just been titles everywhere. It's bullshit, dude. I mean, they should really start thinking about getting rid of them, man.
yeah. Well, I think they want to have, like, they don't want to, because remember, like in old NWA, there was like the world champ, there was the world title, the world television title, the U.S. title,
Yeah,
the world
the
tag,
world title, the U.S. tag team titles.
yeah, 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 the U.S. tag team titles, the world tag team titles, the world television tag team titles. Like that was just like so many titles. But when I was a kid, maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention, or I was still just a kid. I thought that like those titles were all important, and I was like, when the Midnight Express was fighting the Rock and Roll Express, like I thought that was as important as the Freebirds fighting the Road Warriors, for the
Yeah,
world.
and they do. Yeah, yeah.
So I think that with the WWE, like they like to have like Roman Reigns have a championship for 3 years. Like at that point, like when he, unless they change the booking where they get more comfortable with more people, with shorter reigns, with somebody having a reign of 4 months, 5 months, but competition is just so crazy that yeah, like um, competition is at such a high level where on any given night anybody's able to win. But I don't think they want to do that. They want to put a strap on someone for a year and a half, 2 years. So then what are you going to do with the rest of the guys who are just like their thumb up their ass?
Yeah, I do think that the titles are important, and like you said, when we were kids, they were more important. I mean, but you know what? Back then, we had solidly good wrestlers, over wrestlers who made a lot of money, who were important and held those titles. I mean, like all the television title winners were excellent wrestlers. These guys were good. The U.S. title winners were excellent wrestlers. The world title was in a stranglehold by guys like Ric Flair, who was the best of them all, but he occasionally would lose. So we had just solid workers. Now the problem with the workers now is that they're just not as over as they were in the 80s. Wrestlers aren't as over as they were. There's a lot of guys that haven't gotten the proper build up to be as over as they were in the 80s. So you could have a guy like Sami Zayn as the Intercontinental Champion, but it's not like having Mr. Perfect as the Intercontinental Champion, or like having Bret Hart as the Intercontinental Champion, or Macho Man Randy Savage, or even Shawn Michaels or somebody. Those guys were in a league of their own. But I mean, guys like Sami Zayn, the guy, I mean, or I don't know who else to do, but I mean, Gunther just elevated that title. Even Logan Paul. Let's take Logan Paul. Logan Paul is an excellent athlete. He's new to wrestling. He's an excellent athlete. We still don't buy him as U.S. champion because we still don't think he's a wrestler, but he's a pretty decent wrestler. So I mean, I think that it's a good idea to have somebody like that as a even if he isn't a wrestler to be as a U.S. champion. But compared to the other guys on the roster who could hold that belt, I mean, there's very few. Like, I hope LA Knight takes it from him, but how many wrestlers are the caliber of LA Knight? I mean, what I'm basically trying to say, bro, is that there's very few there's not enough marquee talent in the WWE right now to hold championships like that.
Yeah,
There's like the mid card, there's like the upper mid card, which is very little. It's like then there's like the A list talent. That then the A list talent is languishing because let's face it, man, LA Knight, he's not even a B plus talent. LA Knight is an A minus talent, and I mean, and look at where he is right now. He's like a guy who should hold a belt, a big belt, but there's just so many guys ahead of him, like at his level. But then you got Sami Zayn, who's the Intercontinental Champion, and the drop off after that is just crazy. There's just not enough. There's just a lot of new talent that isn't over enough. And in AEW, it's even worse. In New Japan, it's even worse. There's just I mean, the way they build up these guys now, there's no room for them. I mean, they just don't get over anymore.
now, would you consider Shinsuke Nakamura a jobber now?
Oh man, yeah, I gotta admit, he's a jobber now, dude. That's bullshit, but he's a jobber now. Yeah, I mean, he's jobbing to I don't even know why they put him in that spot. I think it's racism, personally. I don't cry racism often, but if I was Shinsuke Nakamura, I'd hire Sonny Ono to be my lord. I'd be like, yeah, it's racism, dude. That's bullshit, dude. What they did to him, and I mean, they're booking the women way better than him. You look at Io Sky, a little cute Io Sky. Look at where she is compared to Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's bull, dude. Basically, the guys. that are over right now, that they're trying to get over right now, that they're trying to get over, like Solo Sikoa. Shinsuke Nakamura should be in Solo Sikoa's spot. But he's
Yeah,
just in. But look at who's with Shinsuke, Bobby Lashley, and
yeah,
they
yeah.
put Shinsuke and Bobby Lashley on the same level, dude, and that's bottom
Yeah,
of the card.
and even AJ, I think even AJ Styles right now is just
AJ
is
Styles
coming
too.
month
He's
after
there. Kevin
after
Owens
month.
is there. Kevin Owens, former U.S. champion, Intercontinental champion, world champion. Sheamus. Who else, man? You can think of a bunch of other guys. It's like these guys were all world champions just a few years ago, and look
Yeah,
where they are now.
yeah. I think
They're
it's
just collecting paychecks now. Kofi Kingston. Believe
he,
that, dude? World champion 4 years ago, and look
is
at
he
where he
still
is
in
now.
WWE? Yeah, well, I guess now that the New Day's kind of I don't know if it's broken up, but Big E's never coming back.
Yeah.
Kind of like because Ridge Holland killed him.
Rich
Uh,
Holland, look at where he is now, man. He doesn't even wrestle. He just shows up on TV in NXT. And NXT right now, we have decent up and coming talent, but
yeah,
the drop off on there is even worse.
you see
You
your
got
boy
that guy
Ivar?
Wes Lee, he's a shrimp, and then you got Obafemi, he's the NXT North American champion. Who in their right mind would think a guy like Wes Lee could beat Obafemi? Come on, dude.
That's funny. It's funny. Like Wesley's as big as Obafemi's leg. It's
I know, man. No, no, it's crazy, dude. It's just
but you see
no, no,
Ivar's
man. They
out
got
for a
to,
while.
huh?
Did you see Ivar's out for a while? He's like
Yeah, he got injured. He got injured indefinitely. I think it's just a way to get him off of TV because the guy's just not doing much. They just got to get him off of TV. What do you think,
yeah, maybe. I think they got is his partner Eric who's his buddy? The
Eric?
other
Eric is off of TV too. So basically, the Viking Raiders are not on TV right now at all.
Now at this point would you if you gonna bring them back if they're both healthy, like in like say 6 months, they're both healthy, they come back, would you stick with the Viking Raider gimmick or would you like, hey, like fuckers, we gotta do something, we gotta come up with something different because this has never gotten over in WWE.
I would give them biker gimmicks like the guy like your friend Bridges. What's his name?
Oh yeah. Briggs,
Yeah,
Jeff Briggs.
yeah. I would give them biker gimmicks and have them team up with him and have him be his muscle because that way they get over as bikers and they're the muscle there, and
Yeah,
like a little gang, a little biker gang, and
yeah,
Bridges is I don't know if that's his name. He gets over as a single star. They get over as a tag team because they're never going to be single stars on their own. And
yeah,
either that or they just release them and they go back to New Japan or they go to AEW or something and tear shit up over there because basically AEW is their organization for true wrestling fans like us, but it's just booked so badly that nobody wants to watch it. So
yeah. All right on. So
yeah,
next week it's the crown jewel. Who do you
Crown
think?
Jewel, Crown Jewel.
So
Um,
oh, they still
it's
have they haven't got they're gonna decide the finals on this Friday and this Monday, right?
Yeah, no, the finals for
Oh,
Raw were yesterday. Gunther destroyed Jey Uso. He made him tap out, and then it's gonna be Randy Orton versus Tama Tonga, which I think is gonna be a good match because Tama Tonga is a solid worker, and we know what Randy Orton can do. But I think Randy Orton's gonna eke out the win. I think it's gonna be Randy Orton versus Gunther at Crown Jewel, and if they're smart, they're gonna make Gunther win, even if it's with interference or whatever, or disqualify or just with a chair or whatever. But if they're smart, they let Gunther win and they make another star because it's just Gunther's time. I think this is his year.
yeah. And then the women, it's gonna be because I know Io Sky lost last night, right?
Yeah, she lost. So it's going to be Lyra Valkyria, who I don't know why they're
Mm,
pushing her,
yeah, that's interesting.
against Nia Jax or Bianca Belair. So I hope it's against Bianca Belair, and they put on a decent contest. But I don't know why they're pushing Lyra Valkyria. She's still not quite over, but I rather would have had Io Sky or somebody. I don't know, man. I don't know. The Queen of the Ring this year was underwhelming to me.
I thought they had some really good matches though. I thought I was that was the one I was surprised about was Shayna Baszler. I have no idea what Triple H ever saw in Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think she's good on the mic. I don't think she's good in the ring. She just looks slow and mechanical. Like I just have no idea what she gets no crowd reaction. I just have no idea why Triple H still keeps her on board. I don't know. Maybe
Oh, come on, dude. You don't know why. You really have no idea why.
no.
She reminds him of China. Look at her, dude. She's another China. Come on, dude. You know Triple H. That's his type. He's always liked women like that. This dude was shacking up with China for years. That was the love of his life. He only married Stephanie for the money, man. Come on, dude. Triple H is a weird dude. I mean, if he likes women like that, he's a weird guy. So I mean, I
So
don't know, man.
so I've never seen one of Shayna Baszler's matches and thought like, wow, it was a good match. That's
Yeah,
that. That's they're like, oh, this is a fucking waste of time. But the match she had with Io Sky, I thought that was a good match. I was very entertained. I was,
yeah, it was. She
I
did a
thought it
good
was
job,
good.
and I don't know if you saw the tag team match she had in the four way this week with the other tag teams, but she was solid, and so was and Zoe Stark is a solid worker, and they won. I think they won, and that was good that they won because they should get a tag title opportunity, and they should win the tag titles. They're a very dominant tag team. They're a dominant tag team together, so they're pretty good.
Yeah, so I was surprised. That's like, oh wow, it's a good match.
I
But yeah,
mean,
so
some of the women are garbage. Like, what's that girl's name? Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae has a pretty face, but she's just garbage in the ring. Her friend Indy Hartwell, she's good looking, but she's not that good either. I mean, some of these girls are pretty bad, but I mean, some of them
yay,
are decent. Some of them are get crowd reactions, and they're hot pieces of tail. So, like, I dig that chick. What's her name? The one who was always screaming, with the fat chick Piper Niven or Chelsea Green. I think Chelsea Green. I think she's pretty good looking, and I like her, and I like her little gimmick, and but I mean, some of these chicks are just wasted of time. Maxine Dupree, man,
yeah,
she's a great looking girl, but she's got to be in the gym every day working out, dude. Because I mean, she's working on her skills because she's a horrible wrestler. And if Gable is teaching her and the Creed brothers and Otis and all them, then she'll probably get better. But she's getting better slowly. Maybe in a year or two she'll be a decent wrestler. But right now she's horrible. But I mean, some of these and I don't know about the producers of the producers of the matches. They got to work with shit because I mean some of these matches are bad. The spots look sloppy. They miss
yeah,
spots. I mean, so
yeah.
basically, I mean, overall the shows are great, but some of the matches individually are awful. And I mean, they just got to put the right producers with the right wrestlers to see what's going on. So
So your predictions for the for is Gunther to go over as king?
yeah, my prediction is Gunther going over as king. It's going to be either Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax or Bianca Belair. I would put Bianca Belair in the spot, but they're probably going to put Nia Jax because she's related to The Rock. I think it's going to be Nia Jax over Lyra Valkyria. I think it's gonna be Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. I would put Liv Morgan over. I don't know if they're gonna do it because Liv Morgan is she would probably have to cheat to win, and that'd be great. Then she could just glow and be a bitch, and everybody hates her. So I wouldn't pick her. I'm gonna pick her. Then you have the world title match. No, Logan Paul's not gonna be Cody. No way in hell, dude. Cody's gonna go over him clean. So I mean, don't know what other matches are on the card, but it's gonna be an event. So it's gonna be at 10 a.m. this Saturday, and too bad I can't order a pizza at that hour because everybody opens at 11. But yeah, it's gonna be at 10, and we'll see
Order
what
Papa
happens.
Murphy.
We're just
Order
waiting for
Papa Murphy
SummerSlam, dude.
before, put it in the refrigerator, and then bake it when you wake up.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, we're just on the road to SummerSlam, dude. Right now, they're just taking stops for SummerSlam.
Yeah, yeah,
SummerSlam soon, so.
Yeah.
They're gonna put on. They're gonna put everything on. They're gonna put their biggest matches on for SummerSlam. Because honestly, dude, a lot of guys are injured and it's fucked up.
Yeah. 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 Well, all right, brother. We've
Well,
been up almost for 40 minutes.
almost 40 minutes, man. This is our longest show ever. But yeah, it was great talking to you, man. And well, we'll do it again next week. And great. So have a nice day. Thank you, fans, for sticking with us and for this extra long edition of SNC's WWE Talk. This is the Squeeze signing out. He's the Cheese. We'll catch you next week. Okay, brother.
Take it easy, brother. Bye.
Bye.